So for the past couple of months, I refused to use Claude Code. I saw the hype, I saw everyone posting about it. I even made this video about how I am not using it because I thought I don't need an AI agent writing my code. Then I finally installed the VS Code extension for Claude Code and I used it to build this website you are seeing in 2 days or less. I also used it to build this project before recording this video and I built the version 2 of Subtract with it as well. And these are projects that would normally take me weeks to complete. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use it on real projects, real products that I sell, the mistakes it makes that nobody talks about, and whether you should actually be using it or not. And I'll be honest with you the whole way because this is not a sponsored video. So let's dive right into it. So before we talk about some of the benefits of using Claude Code on your project, let me give you a little bit of context. I'm a web developer. I'm very sure that is obvious. And I have an agency that I run where I build solutions for businesses through code. And I also sell website templates. I work for a startup and I also build my own products as well. So all these that I've just said means I write a lot of code and I write the same kind of code over and over. So I'm talking about layouts, components, integrations. You get the gist of it. So when AI coding agents started blowing up, my honest reaction was skepticism. That was actually how to pronounce skepticism. So if you've been part of this channel, you know that I have always been actually building my project using a chat interface. So I usually use a T3 chat interface or a Claude interface. So I basically copy and paste code because to be honest, I really didn't see the benefit of using an agent to write all those code for me where I can just copy and paste them myself. And again, my assumption was that Claude Code is basically the same thing, but with just better marketing. Well, here's the thing I got wrong. I was comparing it to autocomplete tools. And Claude Code is not an autocomplete tool, it's an agent that actually lives inside VS Code. It reads your entire project, it plans the work, it edits multiple files, it runs commands, it even checks its own output. So the difference might sound so small when somebody says it in a video, but it does not really feel small when you actually watch it refactor your entire code base correctly while you go out to do something else. But I didn't know that, and what finally made me try it out was a deadline that I had to meet up with. So the deadline was actually a client project, so I didn't have enough time. So I am not going to show that project because it's under an NDA kind of stuff. But basically, when I prompted it, I'm going to use this as an example very soon. So this was what I just did like a few hours before recording this video, and it's mind blowing because this is what would take me a couple of weeks, if not even months. Basically, I already had a starting point on the project. Then I installed Cloud Code, so and that's the first thing you should do. So if you want to do that, you just go to Cloud Code. So in the first link. So I don't know why they are pushing their actual app. So I don't use the Cloud Code application. I use the terminal and the ID, which is the VS Code extension. But you can download it directly on your device, either Windows or Mac. So, or if you don't want to do that, you can just click on the terminal right here. It's going to show you how you can do that. So it's just for you to copy. If you are using Mac, I will just advise you just copy this bash command, or you can use Homebrew to install it as well. So it's quite straightforward. It's not that complex. If you are using Windows, you should just use this one and or this one. Anyone works fine. So when I installed it, I like I said, I installed the code extension. So if I go to my extensions, I can just say Cloud. You see this one right here. So Cloud Code for VS Code. That was about 20 million downloads so far. So basically, I had the two. I installed the extension and I installed the CLI. But I'm going to walk you through the both of them, the one I use the most and which one is actually um much more better. Because I feel one has more features than the other. So after I installed it, I just actually wrote a prompt because I already had the project. Like I said, I had the starting point already. Then I just prompted it, and I just watched it in real time, adding features to the application and making some refactoring. So to cut the long story short, I was able to meet up with the deadline, but again, I used it for another project. This one is, let me show you this. So if you are familiar with my channel, you might have seen this project. I even made a video about this a couple of weeks ago. The link to this video will be in the description. So these projects or these templates, because it's a template I made, was actually built in less than 2 days. So I'll just say 2 days max. And again, it was still the same process. So for this one, let me just open it. This one right here. So if I open the Claude.md file, you would see the entire instruction that is working with. So essentially, this Claude.md file is kind of necessary so that it understands your code base before performing any instruction. As you can see, this file provides guidance to Claude Code when working with code in this repository. So it's kind of essential to have a Claude.md file when you want to actually use Claude Code. All right, so basically, if I open the code, I don't want to just spend much time, but it actually gave me like a good structure. So the code is not bad at all, like legit not bad. Although I always have a starting point. So I basically just install the dependencies myself. Sometimes I even bring in the header components, nav component, um, some parts from other templates I've worked on. Then I just basically compare different projects in that niche, and I just like go back and forth with it. So all this is now one shot. It didn't get it in one shot. Like I said, it didn't get all this in one shot, but with the prompting, with enough prompting, it was able to get it, and it saved me time as well because there were some things like I didn't have to do. So something like this now, I just did one card and I just gave it the images to use, and it just replicated it for all the other cards. Same thing with the details page for them as well. And again, if I was using like a chat interface like Reach Out to build this, it would have taken about 3 to 5 days max because this is a template. I have to make sure the code is readable. I will have to also add like a README file as well so that people will have a better understanding of the code base. And like I said, this would have taken a ton of time if I was doing this with a chat interface or by hand. After completing the client's project and also completing this template, I moved Claude Code into my daily workflow. So let me show you some of the ways I use it with real examples from my project. The first one is going to be Subtract. So in case if you don't know what Subtract is, it's basically a subscription management tool. It helps you to manage your subscription and keep track of your subscription. So I did this a couple of months ago. I even made some videos about it. I'm going to make an official video about it. But if you look at the landing page from that video and you look at this one, is very, very, very much different. This is a version 2. So you know what? Let me just go to the live website because it's actually live. So just go to get subtract.xyz so that you can just create an account to track your subscriptions. So these are some of the subscriptions that I have. I just omitted some so you don't actually see the total price of what I spend every month. But you know what I want to do? Thinking about this, I want to be able to hide this exact value. This is a feature that I want to do right now. So let me even show you how I use Claude Code. So the first thing I will do is to go to that project. The project is this one. And you know what I'll do? I'll just open my terminal and I have this running locally, but I don't want to even do that. I just want to do it directly so you see the point I'm trying to make. So I can just say Ctrl C, clear this one out, then this one as well. So Ctrl C, so we'll stop both of them. You know, close my terminal back. And two ways you do them. I'll first of all use the Claude Code extension. We have two tabs here, local and web. So the web is actually what you basically just searches for something outside your local folder, why this local folder just relates to your project and your file explorer here. So I will just say I'll create a new session first of all, and let me see the model I'm currently on. So I'm currently on Sonnet 5, I guess, and I'm on medium effort. So I think that will work. So what we just do is what was the tax again? So I want to hide the actual total value for this month. So I can even copy this and then I will just say please I want to be able to toggle and just say hide and show the total price. So I'll just paste this like so. You know what? Let me just do it like so. I'm just going to give it a very, very lazy prompt so you see how good it actually is. I'm not going to stir it too much. Just like the way some fintech apps do that and push to main. Okay, let me just say do that and just push. Do that and do that, commit and push. So let's watch it do that. So while we're watching Claude do his thing, I don't know if any of you heard of the news that Fable 5 has been extended to 12th of this month, and today is 9th. Yeah. And the fun fact is that many people have exhausted their usage because they thought the Fable will be out, so everybody exhausted their usage. Even me, I think I am at 87% to my Fable weekly usage. So let me know if you actually exhausted yours or you don't have a subscription at all. So let me know in the comments because I think that they are going to actually reset everybody's usage again because chats um because GPT 5.6 is actually coming out. So let's just see how it goes though. So this is taking a bit of time and I think it's because of my network. So with the power of editing, I'm just going to show you the final result. Alright, so the changes I've made, but I tried testing it locally before pushing it, but I noticed that let me open my DevTools again so you see. So if I go to console.log, you see that it's telling me this export name something. So I'm just going to paste it back. So paste it here, and I'm just going to give that to do its thing. So while that is doing its thing, because of time, and I don't want this video to be super long, I'm just going to show you the other project I've built. So let me quickly spin this up and open it. I will say pm dev like so. So this is going to open on port 301. And again, I don't want this to open on port 301, but it is what it is. So let me just come and say, alright, so this project is called on mix and it basically separates any song into isolated streams locally. So a drummer, apart from being a YouTuber and developer, I'm also a drummer. And one issue I always have was that whenever I wanted to play two tracks, I have issues removing the actual drums and playing my own take. So I have had this thought of building something locally or something personal for myself that if I have any track that I love to play to and I don't need the drums, I'm just going to spin this up, put the track here and just get rid of the drums. But again, I added some other things so I can extract the keyboard, the vocals and bass guitars and get the gist. So what is powering this behind the hood? So let me just go to the readme file and let me close this. So under the hood, I'm using Vite, React, and TypeScript. And again, using the Fast API. And just for context, I didn't write any single line of code. So the only thing I just did was that I planned the whole thing with Fable 5. Then I used Sonnet 5 Medium just to execute everything. And it legit one-shotted everything. So And let me show you the prompts quickly. Right, so this is the actual prompt. So build a local desktop web app code on mix music stem separation tool. It takes a song and removes drums or splits it into four, 16 using the box model. So this is the actual model that does the whole splitting and removing of drums or the instruments. So it's a personal single user tool. So there's no odds, no database, no classroom, nothing like that. And for the front end, like I said, I'm using V3 React and TypeScript. Then also there's a design direction as well. I give it a design direction, and I also give it a contrast or something to use for the backend. And again, like I said, I didn't write any line of code, and I don't even know how fast API works. I on one prompt, like literally on one prompt. I don't know if I can show you the whole stuff. So I didn't use the extension, so I actually used a CLI. So let me open my CLI and come here and see if I can do that. So I'll say Control R. Okay, so you can see all the prompts I wrote. So basically, I didn't give it anything. I just pasted it and I just checked the model I was using. And also, after it gave me the actual results, I told it to use the fonts that you are seeing right here. So give me like different fonts. So I gave it the fonts to use, and basically that was it. So if I test it out, I've done a song before, but I'm just going to um open this one. So I can just remove the drum plus everything, or I can just separate it into four stems. So you can see that it's playing right now. So let me just bring that down, and again, I think I'll play the actual song with the drums and while it's on mixing. So the quality depends on you. So if I choose high quality, it's going to take a very, very long time. But I'm just going to leave it as standard. But standard still works, and I'll click on mix. And this is just going to read the entire audio from here to 100. So once it's 100, it's going to partition the entire stem. So we did four stems, so it's going to give us the four stems. So while we're doing that, let me just see if I can show you the actual song. So I'm sure you heard the sound of the actual track. So I'm just going to close this one out and just allow this to run to 100. And while we're waiting for this to run, I don't know if you can hear the fan from my PC. This thing is really consuming a lot of CPU power. All right, so everything has been separated. So I will just quickly test all of them out. So let me start from the drums. So I'll play this out and let me forward it somewhere here. So you can see that the drum is working fine. Let me do the bass. So let's do the vocals. All you want, you want, that was quite loud. Sorry about that. So let's do the other instruments. So you get the gist. And again, I can do a new song and I can just download all of them. And if I check my PC, it's being downloaded automatically. So the stems are these ones here. So I've done one before, which is this one. Then this one is just a new one. So it's going to be saved to your PC. And the files are quite big. So in case if you want to do something similar, my fans are really hitting right now. So in case if you want to do something like this, make sure your PC can handle it because this is running locally. All right, so again, I can just click on new song and it's just going to switch back up. And this is what I'll be using. I'll just like leave it like this. Then if I want more stems, I will just increase it. Then if I want a higher quality, I will just add that as well. So that's for that. Then let's go back to the previous project. You know what? Let me just close this one. So if I go back, I think we're still having issues running this. Okay, so this will basically now lead to some of the gotchas or some of the issues. Should I say the gotchas? with Claude Code, and not necessarily Claude Code, AI in general. So you can see that it one-shotted this entire application for me. And this, like I said, this is an application that if I wanted to build it without the help of AI, it's going to take me a long time because again, I never used Fast API before, so I would do a lot of reading and all. But with the right prompts and everything, this was able to one-shot it. And again, this is a cool feature. Like the engine is actually off. I close the VS Code and it's letting me know that okay, the engine is off. I should start the engine on 8,000. If I come to this project, you can see that we still have the same issue. I've projected it like twice now. This issue is still here. It's telling me that basically just letting me know that this icon does not exist, but it can't fix it. I'm sure if I use like a model like Fable, it's going to like one shot it, but I'm just going to do it by hand. And again, this will now depend on the kind of application you're building. So if you're building something for yourself and you are not going to deploy it or you're just deploying it for yourself, you really don't worry about the quality of code it gives to you as far as it works. But if you are building something that people will use, you should always make sure you understand what that code base is about. So you must not understand every line of code. Is it possible nowadays? But you should try and understand the system and the architecture around your code base. Like I said, it's not perfect all the time. You can see it broke in real time, right? Like so. The issue now is coming from if I open it, okay, it's coming from the balance card. So what I would do is just to go back. Let me close this in. Close this one now. Then search for balance card and you can see the view icon here. So what I will do is I will say Control Z. Then I will see if there's this. Okay, there's not like view one icon. So let me just do view. Is there a view icon? Yeah, I think so. There's a view icon. Let's try this out again. Alright, so you can see that the view icon was the issue. If I close this, you can see that it's working. If I bring it back on, and see that it's also like showing it. And another issue with using Claude Code is that it will make you lazy if you let it. So there are some times where I have caught myself accepting code without actually reading it, especially this project. So this is the first project I've ever built in my life where I actually just created an empty folder and pasted the prompt and it actually built everything without me obstructing it in any way. So you should actually take notes of what you are building, like I said, especially if it's a product that people will actually pay for. So my rule is actually simple. If the project is personal to me, I really don't care. So I just prompt my way through, or as you guys call it, I vibe code. But if it's something like Subtract that people will use, I will actually spend more time walking through and going looking how the entire code base works. And again, before I push this, I'm going to make sure that every other thing has doesn't have any issues because there's payments now. So you can actually people can actually subscribe to this application. So you should always create some sort of balance on the type of project you're building with it. Alright guys, so I felt this video was all over the place because I have a lot to say. Alright, so for the three people still watching this video at this point, the final question you should be asking yourself right now is if you should use Claude Code. And here's my honest take. If you are a working developer, so it's either you are a freelancer or you are shipping real project, I will advise you use this immediately as soon as you can because the productivity gain is not even 10%. It's the difference between a week and a 2 days kind of tax. And I wish I really started using this sooner, which is literally why this video exists. But if you're a complete beginner, I would advise you to be careful on how you use it. So use it to learn, ask you to explain everything it writes, or don't let it do your thinking. If you skip the fundamentals, you'll never be able to catch it when it's wrong, like what it did right here. So if you don't have good fundamental base, you won't be able to catch certain errors. Alright guys, so that's the size of the video. If you want access to the electrician template that I built, you can go to webcreative.com/templates. The link will be in the description. And you can also explore more templates while you are there as well. Some are free. Then also, if you want a template that is not here, you can just come right here and request for that template, and we'll build it and add it right here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and see you on the next one.